Thank you for tuning in to our final Community Corner Live Forum for 2024, Leading with Purpose, Inspiring Leadership and Holiday Giving. I am Winsome Sharia Witter if you're new to this space, and it's always an awesome privilege to facilitate these engaging and inspiring discussions. So this evening, we spotlight leadership, collaboration, and giving back. It is a season for giving. So we'll explore the inspiring journeys of our panelists and the transformative impact of their work in their communities and beyond. Our guest, Termario Daniels, a high school mathematics teacher, licensed life coach, United Nations Youth Advisor for Jamaica, and president of the Clarendon Parish Youth Council. He also leads The Boy with the List, a podcast amplifying mental health awareness and personal development conversations. One of our Governor General's, I believe, ambassador for 2024 for the parish of Clarendon. We also have joining us Justin Wallace, a former head boy, coordinator for Barnet Outreach Organization, and a rising leader passionate about international relations and youth empowerment. Another, or second, Governor General, I believe, ambassador for the year 2024, and I believe it's for Kingston and St. Andrew. Correct me when he comes on, just in case I got that wrong. We also have Ricardo Fairman, no stranger to this space, so I'll just introduce him as the president of the National Police Youth Club Movement, empowering young people to lead safer communities. And rounding out our panelists, all males, and I love this, Omar Bourne, pastor, administrative professional, Prime Minister's Youth Awardee for 2019, Justice of the Peace, and founder and chairman of Divine Beacon of Change Foundation, who is partnering with the National Police Youth Council movement, club movement rather, to deliver a meaningful holiday initiative. So let's get started by learning more about our panelists' journeys. And of course, we are going to be starting off with our Governor General, I believe, Ambassador, Ricardo. See you in a little while, but we have Termario Daniels and Justin Wallace. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here with us.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Justin has been following this space for quite some time. I remember Justin reached out on Instagram maybe 2 years ago, right, Justin?
Yes.
On Instagram, and you loved what was going on here. So finally, you're here. All right. So let's get started. All right, Termario, as a newly installed, I believe, ambassador, what does this honor mean to you? And how has it shaped your vision for serving your community?
Thank you so much for that question. What it means to me is perseverance is actually the key to ultimate success. When I started my youth development career in 2020, I said that one of the things that I wanted to do, I wanted to be a servant leader for Clarendon. I wanted persons to see me and know me and also understand that I'm all for civic pride and duties. And so being installed as a Governor General, I believe, ambassador, really affirms that mission, right? That it's just another thing that I can say that I've done that is overall for the holistic development of my parish. I'm a proud Clarendonian, and it is an honor to have that type of, prestige attached for the work that I have been doing in youth development for the past 4 years. So I'm really excited for what the journey has to bring. And it's just one of those things where I'm just thankful that I have the platform to be able to educate others on, community service, community development, and some of my passion areas such as mental health awareness and rejuvenation and personal development.
Fantastic. All right, let me acknowledge the St. Mary Police Youth Club, who is joining us on Instagram, and for the others who are here with us live on YouTube, and those who might be on Facebook, Thank you for tuning in. All right, so let's continue to Mario. Your leadership roles on education, podcasting, and youth development. What drives you to wear so many hats? And how do you balance them effectively?
Well, my head is very big, right? So maybe that explains
Good one.
a lot, right? But for me, I've always had, a knack for a lot of different areas, right? I love being able to interact with persons and to help persons as best as I could. And for me, I just love being in the field. I love getting a chance to, hear from other persons, contribute to your holistic development as a person. So in these areas, I'm able to do that on a day-to-day basis, and I couldn't be happier for the lifestyle that I'm able to live because I'm able to impact as many lives as I have been doing. So I guess my head is big, but I have a lot of different interests. And in terms of me balancing, luckily for me, a lot of the organizations and a lot of the different initiatives and projects that I've been a part of, I have a really good support system who will be able to say, okay, Termario, you're doing this weekend. I won't pressure you, but the following weekend you have to give them some service to me. A lot of my supervisors and a lot of persons who I work with are very much interconnected. So it all works out. The grace of God as well. Because sometimes you may have like a 3 event type day where you have an event in the morning, an event in the evening, and then you probably have a night thing to do. And the Lord just allows for everything to just gel. I wish I could tell you that there is a system that I use to be able to manage everything, but I think because of the love and passion for what I have and what I love to do, it makes it much easier in the field. It doesn't feel like work.
That's what happens when you are flowing in your purpose.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Right. All right. We're getting a feedback from your mic, Justin. So we're going to keep it off for the time being. All right. So as we wrap up this part with Termario, share with us the boy with the list. Boy, that patois and English mixed thing. I'm trying to wrap my tongue around it. It's making waves in mental health advocacy. What inspired this podcast, and what message do you hope to leave with your listeners?
Okay, all right. So my podcast is my baby, my personal baby. Um, my podcast was birthed out of so many different things, but as you had said in my introduction, I'm a licensed life coach, and what that means is that it is my job essentially to help persons actualize their goals and be able to inspire them to want to do more with their lives. And I remember being finished with the course, and I felt that I wanted to continue, and I didn't want to use my life coaching certification in the same way that a lot of my peers were able to do. A lot of persons opened up their own practices, and I said that I didn't want to do that traditional route. And I also thought about Clarendon, and I said I have never seen an actual platform that is geared towards mental health awareness. I've had my own personal stories regarding anxiety, and I've had very bad anxiety back in the past, and I wish I had a platform where I could feel like I'm being supported, right? And be aligned with resources so that I can be better able to live my best life, right? And to be the best version of myself. And so after lots of thinking, a lot of planning, and a lot of internalization, I decided that I wanted to do something that's different in Clarendon and do something that's new, right? Because podcasting is not something that's typically done in Jamaica, right? But I wanted it to be my own brand. And so I created my podcast that speaks about mental health awareness, rejuvenation, and personal development. We're available on Apple as well as Spotify. So you're able to just click on a link and it takes you to all the episodes that we have spoken about. The messages that I want persons to understand from my podcast is that we're all trying to make sense of the world in one way, shape, or form. And it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, it doesn't matter what you're presently going through. you can make it to the end and you can live a life that is, you know, fulfilling in whatever capacity that you would like. And so I share my own personal testimonies, my own personal life stories, and even amplify other stories through the episodes that I produce so that persons can actually feel like they have a counselor, a big brother right there in their households.
Fantastic. And it's amazing how you're able to do achieve the similar purpose using different platforms. And the stories, and I trust that to those who are listening, whether live or we're listening to the replay, watching the replay, that you will understand that it's not necessarily about being a teacher in the classroom, being a coach in an office, but you can also be a virtual coach where you can serve many others using the technology that's available to us. All right, that's what this space is all about. So our journey. I think we did the same course, the life coach. I think would have done it in the first batch, the same program that you did, right? Like you, I was not looking into life coaching, being a life coach, but how can I utilize all my experiences and network to support others in a way that's not toxic or taxing rather, and we're able to make a meaningful impact on others. All right, so let's get Justin into the conversation. All right, Justin. So, as a former head boy and active member of multiple organizations, how has your leadership evolved over the years? Because I know when you started out, you're not the same Justin now that like back then. So tell us.
Yes. Yes. When I started out, I wasn't the same Justin. When I entered Edith Dalton James High School in 2019, I saw the disconnect and disjointed within the school community. So I decided that I wanted to make a change within the school community. And I told myself that I have to become the head boy of this school. And so um, over the years, firstly, I've become a class monitor in grade 9, and then my leadership skills have evolved from there. And I become sub-prefect, and I join multiple clubs. You know, I love to be involved, not necessarily to be known by many, but to leave a lasting impact on the school. And in grade 11, I was nominated for head boy by both my school teachers and also my classmates, and I won the position. And I also founded the Male Empowerment Club. So it was basically a club aimed at facilitating young boys in recreational activities and understand to know who they are. I'm not the one founding the club anymore. Persons at the school has taken it over, so they are also, and it has done many great things. You know, one of the things we have host career workshop because not many students, especially students who are leaving secondary education, still do not know what they want to be. So providing that technical support for them to understand that hey, there are many vocational fees out there and professional fees. They have choices, and that is very important. And it has also helped with my emotional intelligence. You know, also helped me to understand who I am, necessary skills and abilities that I have, and how I can use it to inspire change and positivity of people around me.
I love that. Talk about setting goals and going for it. And I love that. And the Male Empowerment Club, I applaud all these high schools that have implemented their male empowerment. I think that is very important
Yeah,
that we
I
have
am,
those.
not
Yes.
to stop you, but I'm currently finalizing in implementing at the Calabar High School that I recently yes, I'm at the sixth form at Calabar High School.
Congratulations. I love that.
Yes, thank you.
That's actually
Keep
something
going.
I wish I did. Something I wish I had at my high school back then. So it's really refreshing to hear that the younger perspective is able to do something like this.
Yes, I think it's really commendable. And I just love what is happening. What's right with Jamaica and our youth. All right. The I Believe initiative focuses on family, youth, and education. How do these pillars align with your goals as a leader, Justin?
These has aligned with my goal as a leader. My main interest is mainly youth, primarily because there is not a lot of role models and positive example within Jamaica and various marginalized communities. So focusing on youth will be important for me, giving them that safe space to express themselves, knowing knowing and telling them that, hey, because what I realize is that many young persons within marginalized communities, because of low level income and a lack of opportunity and lack of employment, they feel disenfranchised and disempowered to move out of that space, So focusing on the I Believe initiative pillar, primarily youth, will also help me in delegating various tasks and work alongside my various IBI inductees for the Kingston. So that is very important. And in addition to that, many young persons need to understand that it is not where you are from that makes you who you are. It is who you are and who you aspire to be. Because there's not a lot of positive expectations of adolescents and youth coming from marginalized communities. And we want to shed a light on that and to illustrate that it is important to work towards the goals as youths and focus on your personal development, irrespective of what the persons around you want to say.
I love that, Justin. Oh, all right. Let me control my emotions over here because I get excited when I hear your young men speak like this because I think it's a wonderful sign for Jamaica in general when we can get these kinds of connection going through our young men. But what excites you most about stepping into this new chapter as an I Believe ambassador, Justin?
Um, I have always been interested in the I Believe initiative. One of my fellow friends, which is Jenny Shepherd, she's the founder of Youth for Excellence. So I think she was inducted back in 2018, if I can remember, and has been my desire from a longer time to become an IBI ambassador. And this year, applications I've sent out and I apply without expectations of me getting elected. And I went in my email, saw the email, and I was elated. I told my mom that I was selected. She was very proud of me, along with my other family members. And you know, I'm also curious about the I Believe initiative. I think it's a very important program under the Governor General Program for Excellence, and they should keep up the good work that they are doing. And over the years, as they continue to bring various, I Believe, ambassadors on board and to expand and transform their project, I believe that these three pillars that they focus on, which is youth, education, and family, will become best ability and come to life.
Indeed. And having youth, like you, young men like you being a part of the program, I am sure that will continue in terms of driving the focus in the different parishes. And I just encourage you, no matter what happens, to just stay the course and as we keep going. All right, let's bring Ricardo and Omar into the conversation. All right, we're still talking about leadership. Ricardo, your work with the National Police Youth Club movement empowers young people to take on leadership roles in their communities. What are the key challenges and opportunities you have observed in fostering youth leadership?
Thank you so much, Mrs. Winter. It is my pleasure once again to be a part of such a wonderful session. I must start by saying that the Police Youth Club movement, one of our main focus is to empower young leaders to be successful people, men and women in society. As a leader, I've observed that some of the challenges that we face as young people is that we do not have the support of or peers. And when I say most of the times, you would want to run to your friends for some form of encouragement. And they would say to you, boy, what are you doing? That don't make no sense. You don't make no money off of that. And I mean, you would get discouraged and not wanting to continue and with the task that you're doing. But because you have a strong belief for the development of not just yourself, but for the people who are around you, you push and to make a difference in society. Also, some of the challenges I've observed is that the lack of funding would hinder our young people from achieving the goals that they want to achieve, because without funding you can't get to do the projects that you would have um, start out in doing. The empowerment session, the one moment, the empowerment session. Also, one of the challenges is the lack of the support of your community. The stakeholders um, are not putting out an effort to assist in the greater development of our young people. And I believe that if we all put hands and hearts together, then some of these challenges we that young people are facing presently will be resolved if all come together in making this a success. Now, some of the opportunities that I've observed, and I'm gonna flip the switch now. Young people, and I'm gonna speak in particular with the police youth club members. They would have gained opportunities from various programs such as the Safe and Sound JA project that the Police Youth Club would have done a couple years ago, where persons were trained in various areas to speak with persons who are of the deaf community. Opportunities such as training in the Heart NSTA Trust programs. So every year we have a camp where our young people would go to this camp, and they don't just go to this camp to have fun. However, they go to the camp because they will be leaving with a certificate. Now, we've seen that a lot of our young people, we have seen that a lot of our young people um, would have seen that a lot of our young people would have um, not interested in getting a certificate or getting um, any form of opportunity to develop themselves. So we have decided to use that platform, getting them into a space where they can have fun and also learning in the same breath, where they can get a skill and continue to develop themselves.
All right. Yes, leadership is not an easy journey, but that's it. It's a
Right.
journey, and that's what determines whether you are a good or a great leader. So we just continue to improve and keep the light shining. All
Shining,
right.
definitely.
So Pauline Tomlinson, thank you so much for sharing. She's crying tears of joy for you both, Tamario and Justin. Keep doing your awesome contribution to Jamaica. Love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
We
you.
appreciate it and we will continue.
Awesome. All right. Let's get Omar in. Divine Beacon of Change Foundation chairman. As leader of that foundation, Omar, is this your first time working with you young leaders on a community development initiative? And if not, what has been the most impactful aspect of partnering with our young people?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
All right.
Hi.
So, I'm glad you actually asked a question, because when I heard Justin talking about high school and his experience he would have gained while in high school, I go way back to Camperdown High School days where I was a student. And from those days, I served as prefect, I served as ISCF president, and I would say leadership has been a part of me from that time. In fact, when I started Camperdown in first form, I became an executive member, then became a member of ISCF. So that was a little unique for me. Along with that, I had to be balancing music because I'm a fan of vocals. So I had to be balancing choir, of course, throughout that time all together, sing. It was a journey. Um, I recognized from that time that leadership is something I cannot avoid, especially having to plan ISCF concerts and different events that comes under the ISCF body regionally. It took some strength, it took some experience, and I'm glad that I was able to gain experience in those areas because right after high school, I went straight into community work, youth development work. I must give credit to Feeding of the 5,000 Outreach Foundation. It was there that I started out the core aspect of my charity work, where I served as operations manager and worked my way up to a director on the board there. After serving there for a while, I would have interacted with quite a few young persons, having to help groom, mentor young people who would have come in my space. The organization eventually would have started empowerment programs, and we would have started to go into schools, partner with police youth clubs, and do all we can to help to mentor our nation's youth. That would have further developed my passion for nation building overall. And it was then in 2014 that I started Divine Beacon of Change Foundation because I recognize the need. There is a great need to have platforms and opportunities for young people, for them to be trained, for them to be developed in whatever and as many areas as possible. I wanted to be a part of that change. A lot of persons in our country, might I say, they're talkers. They sit, they criticize, they talk about what is not happening, what is not going right. That annoyed me personally, and I want to be a part of the change. I didn't want to be a part of a system where I just get up every day and I complain about what Jamaica is not doing well at. But I wanted to be a part of the core of persons who can say, this is the area that needs improvement. This is the area that needs transformation. And I would jump on board in that area and I would help to make a difference. And through Divine Beacon of Change Foundation, we have been making a difference. We have mentored over 2,000 persons within high schools and the primary schools combined. We would have recognized behavioral issues as well among our young people. And for me personally, up to this moment, I'm able to contribute to that because I'm in the primary education system and I see the behavioral issues. I see them daily. And because of that, I'm able to give my opinions, my advice. I'm able to sometimes put a child or two one side and do a bit of, advising and eventually mentoring and sometimes refer that child to counseling if needs be. So the task is great. And I do try to see how best I can collaborate with the education sector because that is a core area of where young people are or should be. So based on that, I collaborate a lot with the education system and do mentorship and empowerment sessions. The fun part for me, or one of the fun areas for me, is talking to PEP students. So the foundation over the years, when it was GSAT at the time, we went into in the primary schools rather, and we would have done empowerment sessions for our grade 5 and 6 students. PEP is now the in thing, and we would have been continuing with that. Before the PEP exams, we put a team of mentors. In fact, our mentors are certified mentors of Heart Trust NSTA. So we go in the schools and we try as best as possible to give study tips, to motivate some person, because one of the things I realize is that some persons they are doing well academically as regard to the classwork, but when it comes on to exam, there is a whole level of nervousness that attacks them, and there's fear. Um, I also realize that our nation, or aspects of our nation, they're not very good at speaking life and hope into our young people. Um, we're cultured in a way where we're told that you're not going to come to anything good. You're worthless. You're this. You're that. And we, as a nation builders, we as youth ambassadors, when we see these things happening, we have to be people who speak out against it, and strongly. So I've had that opportunity through my foundation to speak out against teachers calling students dunce, saying you're not coming to anything good. Parents, I'm not afraid to tell any parent you're wrong. Don't come and call no child dunce and work it in my presence, because we're here to impact lives, and it also starts at home. So it's a round, it's a very rounded task that I do quite daily, but I enjoy it. I find it very fun and exciting, and I will continue to do it until I have no strength left.
All right. And I mean, what I'm hearing all around is that you are just walking in your purpose all around. All right. Let me quickly take some comments. The time is going, but Jacqueline Tomlinson Dixon. This is Auntie Justin, your auntie. So proud of you. You're an inspiration. May God continue to protect you and keep you. And she's also thanking you, all of you gentlemen, for your inspiration and your contribution to society. May God continue to bless and protect you. Getting a lot of coverage tonight. Thank you all guys for your contribution. All right. Keep motivating the fellow youth. God bless you, and guidance and protection. Dr. Lavelle, thank you for tuning in. All in when it comes to curtailing harmful behavior issues in our schools. Fantastic. All right, so we would learn some more about these gentlemen's leadership journey and their community impact. So we are going to take it on over now to the holiday initiative and collaboration that's taking place between our DBC Foundation and the National Police Youth Club movement. So Omar, let's continue with you. Chairman, what is the vision behind the holiday initiative, and why is it important for the community that you are working with?
Well, let me first and foremost say that when you are from a background where you didn't have it all together, that in itself is a motivation to help others. Mm-hmm. And when you are in a better state and you see other persons in the state that you were in, you're like, hell no, I got to do something about this. And let me share a quick story with you. I was in the legal system. One day I had to rush to the court, and it was one of those homeless persons that stopped my car from being taken away by a wrecker. I was parked on the roadside. I shouldn't have parked there, but I had to rush in to catch the timing for court. And that homeless person remembered me more than I even remembered him. And he stopped there with the police, back and forth with the police. And he was like, no, I know this guy. He's a good guy, and you can't take his car. And I'm like, oh, it's you. Hi, hello, how you doing? So it was, that is so rewarding, doing it for so long. I mean, when I realized that people remember you for the good that you do, oh my God. It's encouraging because you get up, you do what you do because you love what you do. Not because you want recognition, not because you want to be in the spotlight, but because you have a passion. Let me tell you, 3/4 of the time, and Ricardo can share, we don't see money to do what we do. And sometimes we even have to go into our salaries to help offset different areas and purchase resources that are needed. But I make it my point of duty every Christmas to feed at least 300 homeless and less fortunate persons. It is a task. And Ricardo would have talked about young people and service. We struggle with young people not having as much passion as we think they should have. And sometimes, based on that, the interest to come and serve and volunteer, it's not there. But, I want to use this platform to say to persons as well, the workplace not taking without voluntary service anymore. You want a promotion on the job, they're doing a background check. And they're asking, where have you volunteered? How have you contributed to our nation? So some people are in it because of the passion, and some people are in it because of opportunities. That is fine. Both results causing our nation to be better. And I'm grateful for that. I've been doing it for over 10 years and juggling that along with my paid job. It is a task, but when you see the smiles, oh my God, on these faces, someone getting a meal and good meal, because our food is prepared by a catering company because we try to give them the best. And at the end, if any remain, our volunteers eat from the same pot. So we make sure there's no discrimination. We make sure none of them feel any less than they are and worth. And we try our best to make sure they get the best. So this is an annual event, and National Police Youth Council, trust me, Ricardo particularly has been a very, very strong tower of strength. Ricardo lives in Andover, and Ricardo reaching Kingston almost every year for this event. And it's mind-blowing. It's commendable.
Indeed. So let's bring Ricardo into this part of the discussion. What inspired the National Police Youth Club movement to partner with the DBC Foundation? And what does this collaboration aim to achieve, Ricardo?
All right, so I must, before I go any further, commend Omar and the Divine Beacon of Change Foundation team for the tremendous work that they're doing in Kingston. And as he made mention that I would have traveled every year to be a part of that initiative. And I'm hoping that we can start a Divine Beacon of Change Foundation in the Western region, so I don't have to travel every year. As Omar states, that when you go out and you see that you can impact somebody's life with a plate of food, let me just call a spade a spade. When you can impact somebody's life with a plate of food, when you drive up to those people and you open the trunk of that car and them say, everybody, food come. It pains my heart. And I could not finish my tenure with the Police Youth Club without inviting my team to come and be a part of this initiative, to see that not because we might be in our comfortable space, not because we might have 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day, doesn't mean that we should not go out and support the persons who are really in need. Hence the reason why I've decided that this year the Police Youth Club movement have to partner with the Divine Beacon of Change Foundation. I would have seen the challenges that the DBC would have faced over the years, and partnering will assist in getting some of those challenges being fixed. Now, the Police Youth Club movement would have jump on board to provide the support as it relates to donating some items. Would have had our flyer being circulated asking for assistance for this initiative. As Omar said, the funding is not there. but whatever donation we get would go towards this initiative. The aim that we're hoping to achieve is that at the end of this project, our members can see that, listen to me, you're not just volunteering because you want to volunteer, but you're volunteer to make the change in somebody else's life. As our PYC motto says, we're helping to build a better Jamaica. And in helping to build a better Jamaica, it doesn't mean that we're going to go and participate in the secular activities, but we're going to participate in helping, in shaping the lives of not just our young people, but every Jamaican citizens. Thank you.
Well said. I love the passion. Love it, love it, love it. All right. How do you see this initiative inspiring others to contribute to their communities, especially during the holiday season? Omar,
Repeat the question.
how do you see this initiative feeding the street people at this time of the year? How do you see it contributing to inspiring others to contribute to their communities? Maybe different initiatives, but helping, especially during this time of the year.
Well, I know that doing this every year, it has taken quite a few persons out of their comfort zone. So I have this co-worker. She was so reserved. And she was like, me? I am not doing that. I am not going there. I'm afraid of these people. And no, she's one of the quickest persons to get a sponsorship sheet and say, look here, people hungry. This is a reality. We need some donations. So that took her out of her comfort zone. As a matter of fact, she was appointed math teacher. I think Tuesday. I think the Honorable Favor Williams at the time when she was in education, she had this Tuesday teacher thing going on, and she was highlighted there, and that was one of the requirements. You had to be very active in community service. And we encourage her till she's now serving on the board of directors. And every day she cussed me. I said, why you pull me in this? Why you pull me in this? But I said, look at you now. Look at you now getting recognition by Honorable Favor Williams. Look at you now. And it has helped so many persons to come out of their comfort zone. I also realized within the community, persons are realizing to share a little bit more. Because I think if you can go, and not bashing events and parties and any of that, but if you can spend money on one heap of liquor and junk and turn over, you can give $1,000 to help somebody buy a plate of food. I'm very practical, right?
Yeah.
So it helps persons to redirect how they spend their money to. And they'll be like, okay, I have a budget for this. This is a necessity. I want to help save a life. So for me, it has been very impactful. It has helped persons within the community. And let me say to you, I am particularly from the Vineyard Town community, and Vineyard Town Police Station has been very, very supportive. Very, very supportive to this. In fact, today I went and I collected a sponsorship sheet from them. And let me tell you, they collected some money. Yes?
All right.
So I'm excited about that they saw the need as police officers to jump on board and to help make a difference. So some persons, you're not able to, of course, come on the day, but they want to be a part in that way. And that too is very helpful and meaningful.
That's what I want to drive home, that there's so many ways that we can provide support. We might not be the ones going out there to hand over the plate of food, but there are other ways that we can support. And what our officers and their colleagues has demonstrated is that they can utilize the resources that they have in their space to make a contribution. And that's where we need to recognize where we can support and not see just the whole, I'm not the person to go out there, but what is it that I can do to be a part of the change that I want to see? All right. Thank you so much for that. All right. Let's bring Tamara and Justin into this aspect of the conversation. Justin, what advice would you give to young people about finding meaningful ways to give back to their communities? Go ahead, Justin.
Unmuted.
You're unmuted now. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you repeat the question, please?
All right. We're going to advise our young people on how they can, about finding meaningful ways to give back to their communities.
Okay. One of the ways you can give back to your community is join NGO or civil society organization or youth club. For example, you can join the St. Catherine Parish Youth Council. That's where Timor reside, and give back to your community. You don't have to give back financially. You can also give socially and, various ways of giving. Many persons, when they think about giving, what come to their mind is money. Giving come in various ways, and you can also give out of your own pocket. Use your own money, come up. Start a little small project and just help a few persons. And even if persons aren't gratified by what you do, you get your own personal gratification because of the effort and hard work you put into whatever you're doing and how you bring people along. So that is my answer.
Well said. Well said, Tamaria.
I want to make a slight correction. It's the Clarendon Parish Youth Council.
Yes, yes.
I will have to make that very clear to the listeners, right? The Clarendon Parish Youth Council. But to add on to what Mr. Wallace said, I want people to understand that you don't have to be a big slabberdash, right? It can be a very micro contribution because micro will eventually become macro, right? So I say start small. Go out into your communities, walk the streets, get to hear people, partner with different youth clubs and foundations and organizations. As the president of the Clarendon Parish Youth Council, it is our mandate to align young people to different organizations because membership is always something that we always want. We want the young people to come out. We want them to be engaged meaningfully and actively within their communities. So there are bodies like the Clarendon Parish Youth Council, and there are other foundations that are smaller and they're starting and they want persons on their executive team that would want that level of support. So definitely start there. Additionally, you have NGOs and bigger organizations. For example, I'm a part of Fury Children Foundation with Mr. Wallace as well. While that is an organization that is based in Kingston, I'm in Clarendon and I also volunteer in that regard. So it is possible to contribute to many different organizations. You just need to find one that aligns with your passions in life. And of course, come to me because I like to align people to different places. I know that youth development changed my life, and I want to be one of those persons who align persons to their purpose, youth development wise. And it's such a broad space. So don't be afraid to just start very small. You may never know where you end up.
All right. Well said. All right. So we just went through the holiday giving back because that's a part of the discussion that we're having this evening in terms of giving back and more importantly, the power of collaboration because that's what we're highlighting here, the collaboration between the DB. Let me make sure I get the foundation name right. DBC Foundation and the National Police Youth Club Movement. All right. And there are several others and other collaborations going on in these different spaces, in the youth space and overall. And we want to highlight and recognize the efforts of these individuals as they seek to bring some cheer at this time of the year. All right, so let's move into some actionable advice and hear some future plans from our panelists. So let's start with Justin. Leadership is about leaving a legacy. What one key value or lesson you strive to embody to your work, in your work rather?
One key body on membership is impact. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And many times civil society organizations and youth organizations believe that they have to start out big in order to leave an impact. They out this mantra in Jamaica that said one cocoa full basket. So that's very important. And the next thing is just have that sense of awareness and hope in yourself within your organizations and various respective fields that you serve on, and know that there are going to be challenges. And as it relates to funding, as Omar and Ricardo has stated earlier on, and just give God thanks and have faith in whatever you're doing.
All right. Omar, what's one key value or lesson you strive to embody in your work?
What's what? Repeat
Just
that.
one, not three like Justin. One. One key value or lesson you strive to embody in your work.
I'm gonna try and not do what Justin did and go 3 because it's hard not to go 3. But let me one main one for me is the attitude and the spirit of servitude.
All right. Spoken like a true child of God.
It is so important, and I say that because it allows you to do whatever you're doing from a place of humility. So you do what you do, you don't expect any recognition, any public notice. Or when I got Prime Minister's Youth Award for Nation Building in 2019, I was shocked. I'm like, say what? Okay. But you don't have to push up yourself for recognition. Somebody will see the good that you're doing.
Indeed.
And somebody will praise you for it. So just serve, just do what you do with a genuine heart from a genuine place. And let me also say to you, from a biblical perspective, God will pour back into you blessings beyond your wildest imagination. There are times when I don't have money, but because I've been helping others, I see people just pouring into me. I get a call from overseas, go to the Western Union. That's just how God chooses to bless his people. But just do what you do with a genuine heart from a genuine place, and I guarantee you, you will be rewarded.
Indeed. All right, Ricardo, you only have half a minute to share yours.
Passion and pride. So I serve with passion and pride, and that is what I live by. So when you do whatever you're doing with passion, then all other things will come into play.
All right, fantastic. Love that. All right. So, Termario, for young men watching, whether live or they're watching the replay, what is one piece of advice you'd offer to inspire them to step up as leaders?
I would say that sometimes in order to be outstanding, you have to be the standard. Sometimes you are going to be put in situations where you feel as if you don't have a voice. Reminder, all of us have something to say, all of our opinions are valid, and all of our ideas are very much important. And once you come to that level of self-actualization, you will then be able to lead others. Sometimes you may not know what you're doing, but because you have the conviction and the confidence, persons will want to be aligned to you, and you can create a movement that way. And so I would tell any young man out here who is watching on this call, my situation and your situation may be completely different, but we all have a common thing in mind. We all have a creative mind, and we all want forceful action and change. And if we really want it, we will go after it. So again, start small. Pitch your idea to one person. You don't need a big crowd, but once you have that level of self-actualization and understanding and a clear goal in mind and objective, you will make a way.
Well said. And before we go on, I have to now acknowledge and thank all of you, those who have been in the space as guests throughout 2024, and those who have been on board with us. Let me see if we can get this in the YouTube space. We started the platform back in, let me see when YouTube said, back in 2014, but this live forum started back in 2021. And for 2024, we have 293 new subscribers. So for those who are on, you are enjoying what you're seeing, you're finding value in this space. Be sure to add your subscription to this 293 before the year is out. This is up to the end of November. We've gotten some new subscribers since then. Over 18,000 views. Thank you so much. And you not only viewed and subscribed, but you also commented and you liked and you shared. And that's one of my favorite parts of it. You sharing. So it's not about keeping the information to yourself, but sharing it so others can be empowered. All right. And thank God for the strength and the grace. Over 88 uploads to date. And this is not added to it as yet. And we have another one or so to go. So let me thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Our most viewed for the year, Early Childhood Commission as usual, their back to school readiness, where they empower their parents and educators. 170 hours watch time for that video. And we want to increase the number of watch times. So young people, you need to step on up. All right. So our short culture corner with Terry Salmon, transforming lives. And interestingly, she works with boys. So we are bigging up our young men. And our top live stream, that's the stream that had the most, the number of live viewers was, of course, the back to school readiness with the Early Childhood Commission. So let me thank you all again for being a part of the community and not keeping the information to yourself, but sharing it, and to our sponsors who have come on board for the different activities and reaching out and adding live streaming, which I never even thought of. So there's a new service that's been added in 2024 where we go out and cover live events that aligns with the platform, anything to do with information that will help to empower our people. Dr. Lavelle is sharing excellent output there from all presenters. The information received has added another goal to the RSCC 2025 plan, RIC, resources and organizations getting ideas to improve on what they have, right? Very interesting and informative, really proud of our youth who are making positive contributions to our society. Thank you, Anna Brown. All right, Termario, this is part of a connection that takes place in this space. You need to talk to Dr. Lavelle, okay?
Oh, I will.
All right, so Dr. Lavelle is over there in Clarendon. So it's great when we're able to, and I want to see more of what we're highlighting here in terms of the youth organizations partnering with the other organizations in the space to create even greater impact as we move forward. All right, so it's not about going it alone, doing it alone, but how can we work together, get more done faster with the limited resource that we have? Because limited resources are always going to be limited. But once we collaborate, then you see greater impact as we move forward. All right, we are at the top of the hour, but we can't go without getting some more from you as we wrap. Termario, I'm going to leave it for a little while, but Justin, how do you hope to combine your passion for international relations with your leadership journey here in Jamaica?
I hope to combine my passion by getting an understanding of global economics and global politics, and also the importance of regional integration within the Caribbean region. So when I move on to the university level, I also already have an understanding of these topics, and also being a part of these youth organization and also being involved will also allow me to gain understanding and better insights of what topics and issues that are facing the Caribbean and the diaspora, both globally and internationally.
Fantastic. So you're able to apply the theory to the real life situation, or bring the real life situation to maybe challenge the theory too. All right. Fantastic. All right. So, Ricardo, how can young people get involved with the National Police Youth Club movement and its initiative? Where do they go? First point of contact.
Yes. So your first point of contact is to visit the nearest police station in your area. Once you visit the police station, the officer that is at the desk will give you all the information that you need to become a part of the police youth club movement. Once you've joined the police youth club and visit those meetings, then you'll automatically be a part of the initiatives that we're having. So if you join today, you can participate in any form of the activities that we have.
Fantastic.
Also, before I jump up, I must add that you can also visit our different social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, now X, at npycja.com. We also have a website, npycja.com. Yes.
All right, great. Omar, what's next for Divine Beacon of Change Foundation in terms of youth and community engagement?
Well, over the years, we have had challenges with resources, as we have mentioned, and we have had to put a pause on mentorship. That is something that we want to revive. We want to partner with Art Trust NSTA again and train the more persons in mentorship, because mentorship is very important. We want to have mentors going more into the schools, because I believe that is the ideal place to reach to our young people, and to do more talks, more pep talks with our girls, with our boys. I particularly want to and will be collaborating with the Justice of the Peace Association for Kingston, because there are some very great dynamic leaders on that side. And as best as possible, have the government sector partnering, collaborating, as you have mentioned, to make all these initiatives successful. So mentorship and empowerment sessions is something that we want to get back into the schools with, and we believe that it can definitely make an impact. Let me just quickly share that the current Mr. World and Mr. Caribbean Jamaica is someone who I've seen growing up, excelling, and when he came back to the past school where I am working now, I said to him, I'm so proud of you, because it's through programs like these that he too would have benefited from. And today he is a dynamic leader. So we want to definitely continue to contribute to that as regards to nation building.
Fantastic. Thank you for mentioning that. I love when you highlight the awesome thing that our men are doing, because we hear so many negative things.
Yes.
All right. So this is a space where we highlight all the positive things that our men are doing. I love Queens. You know, I love you dearly, but I think it's very important to empower our men. Okay. All right. Termario, I'll come to you in just a little bit. Let me see if there's any. All right. All right. So as we wrap, Termario, let's hear from you. What's next for you as an, I believe, ambassador in your role as the president for the Clarendon Parish Youth Council, and what are your goals for the boy with the lisp?
Okay, so that's a mouthful.
Yes.
So I'll start with the council. So presently, the Clarendon Parachute Council, we are going to be hosting our Clarendon Youth Awards. I'll be talking with you a little bit after.
Okay.
We are going to be hosting our fourth staging. We're having that in January of 2024. So we're basically going to be going hard on that particular event. We're also going to be having a lot more mentorship drives and membership drives to get persons more involved in the organization and in the field of youth development and to strengthen our youth clubs. So that is where our focus is at. We can do that through different events, different forums, and new partnerships. Um, as for IBI ambassador, I plan on taking a approach of capitalizing on all the different aspects pillar wise. I want to do projects surrounding families, projects surrounding youth, and projects supporting education. So throughout my year, as an IBI ambassador, I'll just be on the lookout for some of the things that I have in the works that I'm working on regarding that. As for my podcast, we're actually starting season 3 this January. And it brings me such joy to report that because we have been streamed in 9 countries worldwide over 100 times. Um, and I don't have a team. I do everything myself from editing, production, marketing, networking. So it's a really big win for us. I started thinking it's only going to be in Jamaica, and now I'm being streamed in places like Hong Kong. So I'm really excited for that. We are going to be having a couple surprises that may involve a logo change and some other things. So I'm really excited. I'm also looking forward to having more on the ground activities as well as getting some brand ambassadors on board. So stay tuned. Boy is at work. Boy got a lot of work, but boy is at work.
Sounds exciting. I love that. And this is one of the benefits that I did not foresee in this space, the, the connection that takes place between our guests, where we have guests who would not have met before, who are connected in this space, who want to connect with each other to carry on the work that you're doing. And so I am just so grateful for the opportunity to serve you all. And thank you for allowing me to do that, but not just to share, facilitate these discussions to empower the community. Like you, Tamara, I thought I was serving Clarendon, and then right? The youth started reaching out from across the different parishes. I think Justin
Right.
was one of the first persons who reached out to ask about youth from other parishes outside of Clarendon. And so we went with the National Youth Council in 2024. And then for 2025, you want to stay tuned because we heard your requests, and I'm so grateful that the youth of Jamaica wants to be a part and see value in the Servant Resource Connector platform. And I am happy to provide the space so that you can continue to be a part of the change that you wish to see. So look out and listen out for greater things for 2025. Thank you so much, gentlemen,
And can I just
for
add
sharing your
one more thing?
powerful stories.
Can I just add
Quickly.
one more thing? Just want to remind everybody our feeding project is on Saturday. That is December 21st, 2024. And we begin the day at 8:30 p.m. We'll be doing Open Arms Drop-In Center. That is in Augustown, Kingston. And Open Arms, is Wynyard Road. That's across from Vauxhall High School. And we'll be doing Bryce Hill Elderly Home. That is in Augustown, Kingston. So, and of
Is
course,
that PM or
downtown,
AM?
AM.
Okay.
So downtown, of course, is the last trip. We're about 3:30 thereabout. We'll be going downtown, and that is normally the icing on the cake. So come on out, partner with us, join, and you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram page. Send us a DM. We can give you the banking information. Your donations are not late. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so your leadership and collaboration, truly, gentlemen, are testament to the incredible potential within our communities, within our country. And to our viewers, let's carry forward the lessons we've learned tonight about purpose, service, and the transformative power of collaboration and giving. So stay tuned for our next live forum and do have a happy holiday season. Happy holidays to you too, Dr. Lavelle. Enjoy. So we will have our local governance segment, our final segment for 2024, but it might not necessarily be a live, but a pre-recorded live because it's going to be the holiday, right? But we are closing out the year right. So you can stay tuned for that to hear what our municipal corporation in Clarendon has to share with you as we end the year and look forward to an exciting 2025, God's willing. So thank you again and continue to stay connected with the different platforms so you can get updates. So as usual, we have our blog recap coming out on Monday. So look out for that, www.serenityresourceconnected.com. And you can connect with us on the WhatsApp channel so that you can get the link there as well, if that's more convenient for you. WhatsApp number 876-871-8960. Thank you all again and have yourselves a fantastic rest of the night.